Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Between Two Stands, a show that takes a closer look at the individuals that make up the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. I'm your host, Andrès, Assistant Principal Percussion, and I'm here with...
Hi, guys. I'm Abe. I'm the Assistant Principal Cellist.
Today, we are very excited to be interviewing Principal Cellist Wei Yu. Wei was born in Shanghai, China, before moving to the United States to begin college. He was a member of the New York Philharmonic for 7 years before joining the DSO in 2014 and moving here with his wife, Kuna, who is a talented pianist in her own right. They recently had a beautiful young son named David. And without further ado, there's Wei. What's up, Wei?
Hey, Wei.
How's it going?
Great to see you.
Good to see you too,
Nice
man.
to see you too.
How's everything going? Yeah, it has been too long. We miss seeing you, man.
Good to see you too.
So we're starting all these shows with the same question, and that question is, what music is on your stand right now? Like what are you practicing right now?
I think it's a very awesome question, and it reveals who we are as a musician. For me, first and foremost, is like Andrès, like you know, Bach is standing, watching over your shoulder. Bach in my hand as well. Bach cello suite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like a butter and bread for our daily life as a musician. So I practice Bach almost every day. So it's always sitting on my stand. And then the other piece of music I have on my stand is there's several music I want to learn. I always didn't have really good time to do it. Now is the time to learn some new pieces. That's including Prokofiev's Symphony Concertant. I always want to learn that piece and never had a chance. So now it's sitting on my stand to try to learn it.
Wei, that's notoriously one of the most difficult pieces on the cello. How are you doing with it?
One page at a time.
Yeah. I mean, so just for our audience, I think the second, if my memory serves correct, the second movement, the solo cello part, is 20 pages on its own, right? So, I mean, just the middle movement itself is a concerto in its own right, let alone the difficult outer movements too.
Absolutely.
Are you going to perform? Are you planning on performing it, or is this just for your own self?
At this point, you know what? I just try to learn the notes and then see what happens.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So in case anyone hasn't seen it, Wei was featured on a recent webcast playing the Elgar Cello Concerto, which, if you haven't seen it, is on dso.org/replay. And I mean, that's always an interesting thing to talk about. It's like soloing with the orchestra. And you know, we Abe and I were wanting to ask you, how you were feeling. First of all, playing the concerto in general, and having seen it, on the replay, how you were feeling, during that concerto, and having it, seeing it again.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm always terrified to watch myself play, especially when I replay video or even record myself. I think it's very terrifying. It's very self-revealing. I always feel like, I could do better here and there. But in general, this time, when I'm looking back, particularly the Elgar Concerto experience, inspired, I'm just like still very nervous. I can tell how much I enjoy the whole experience when I perform on stage. I'm always extremely grateful to play great piece of music with Detroit Symphony Orchestra. This is a fantastic orchestra and a fantastic group of musicians. Everyone are so enthusiastic, and then the help and support and care they have shown me on stage is just absolutely incredible. So to relive that experience and then feel the support once I step on stage, it was just really marvelous. And one thing I think strikes me most is how amazing the sound Detroit Symphony has. Orchestra has fantastic sound, the depth, the color range, and also the incredible hall. we have is another, I would say, a fantastic instrument we have. And musicians being incredibly flexible to support a soloist. So I always experience a great sense of freedom, incredible inspiration from the musicians behind me. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful performance.
Yeah.
So, Wei, what's your mindset like? I mean, we perform week in, week out in the orchestra as part of this big group. So what's your mindset on stage? What's the difference between the concerto and playing principal in the orchestra?
I think it's like a bit like a gear shifting. When I'm sitting in the principal chair, I always feel I'm a part of the group, a part of the cello section, a part of the orchestra, a part of the string section. My role when I was principal cello is always a mediator between conductor and the cello section. And also I'm constantly playing chamber music with other string section leaders, other wind section leaders. So a lot of interaction. So it's more like a chamber music setting, and I try to blend in as well. If I do have a solo line, I try to step out and then go back into the section ensemble kind of playing and sound. So that's like that kind of mindset. So I'm again very blessed to have the opportunity also play the concerto. That means I have to step up and then show the different virtuosity from my playing. I guess more self-revealing and more personality coming to him as a soloist.
Piggybacking on that, I'm wondering if maybe you could explain like the mental and physical preparation, if it's any different, like with the solo work rather than being in the section. Do you do anything differently, like to prepare? Do you I think I saw you playing on stage a few times by yourself, which maybe that helps with the preparation. But do you do anything differently in that sense when you're playing solo?
Definitely when I'm working on the concerto, it takes much longer for me to prepare. Mm-hmm. So it's so-called learning curve. I always try to plan ahead of time so I can, so-called peak at the moment, say, I'm completely comfortable and I'm ready. Mm-hmm. And then that way I experience the freedom, the liberty, or the nice flow of the whole performance experience. Mm-hmm. So that take a little time to get to that point. And so I think, just planning a little bit better and also strategically plan my practice routine and study score, study music, mm-hmm. Attention to detail, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I have a very important question too. I'm not music related, but is Kuna cutting your hair, or how are you keeping your hair so normal? I'm struggling here. I know Abe and I are struggling with our.
Yeah.
I feel like yours hasn't changed at all.
I think we all have a long overdue haircut.
Yeah, exactly. We should have the DSO. Like we should all come in together and get our hair cut before we go on stage again. Okay, so here's a question we're all burning to know. Yeah. Why is Detroit better than New York, Wei?
As a musician, I think I think I'm incredibly lucky. Both orchestra has fantastic musicians. I'm blessed to had both city lived in both cities and being in both orchestras. It has been an incredible experience. But something special about Detroit is, I would say Detroit is such a great and big city, but has such a small town feel. Mm-hmm. It's feel like a small family-oriented community. Both DSO and the neighborhood I'm living in, everyone know each other very well. Everyone care about each other such a great deal. For example, for DSO, I think they have so many very loyal fans and supporters. It's a community-based orchestra, very deeply rooted into community. It is always a very touching experience to perform for this very special group of audience. You can tell on and off stage that kind of energy, that interaction. So as a musician, it's so satisfying to know that our music can bring people together and really mean something to our supporter and audience, and vice versa. When I have personal connection with patrons and friends sitting in the audience, I think it just take music to a completely different level of meaning. Mm-hmm. So that constantly remind me why I am being a musician is to serve the community, is serve people. So I think now I have a very clear purpose of being a cellist in this incredible town.
And it's tough at this time because we're all locked in, so we can't necessarily do what we normally do. So we have to be creative in how to serve the community. But you guys just did that awesome cello box suite. I mean, that was really cool and innovative. And you might not have done that normally.
I think now I enjoy playing the music so much, and also just to see my colleagues from this incredible cello section. Everyone are so eager to share. Everyone, when they play, have such a positive, big smile on their face. That really lifts up my spirit. Not only that, the other day I was strolling with David with Kuna, like 2-3 blocks away from my home, and suddenly there's a couple on the bike. They pass by us quickly, and then they look back, and they stop right in front of me. I was like, oh wow, what's going on? Like, huh. And then they stop and say, "Oh, are you the cellist from Detroit Symphony? 10 minutes ago before we left home, we were watching you guys playing the box suite."
Whoa, that's awesome!
Oh, that's amazing.
Little baby jumping. I'm like, yes, that's David right here. I'm like, we enjoy so much. We enjoy every moment of you guys playing the box. Keep that music going.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that was just that really made my day, Yeah.
That's very cool.
That was, Wei, that was really incredible. I can't imagine how distracting that must have been to have David jumping and screaming. I mean, it was the cutest thing in the world. And so how many takes did you have to do? Were you able to knock it out in one take, or did you have to?
No, I did a few.
Okay.
I remember what note next.
Right. It's an added distraction.
Yeah, but for future performances, that could be a great performance training. Just put your kid right in front of you. I mean, I think Sam would do the same thing for me. Just have him scream and shout and jump around and see if you can keep your focus.
Exactly. Build a realization,
Playing for a quiet audience would be easy compared to that, I feel like,
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, yeah, and kind of along those family lines, we were wondering, we were talking a little bit before this, that it's kind of nice to have that time with your family, this kind of forced time inside. What have you guys been doing? Has it been nice to be with your family and spending that time? And how's that been going?
David is just turned 7 months a few days ago. I think we are spending really great quality time at home. I think that's such an important stage for him to grow. And luckily, both parents are here to just take good care of David. Mm-hmm. And my parents are visiting us since January from Shanghai, so they are spending fantastic time with David as well. In our household, we always try to put classical music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that way, I think David's really enjoyed that, and it's part of the daily life. I think I want him to immerse in the kind of environment with classical music.
Which pieces? Just so that when I have kids, I'll play that for them, just so that they become like a genius,
I do all sorts of music from Brandenburg Concerto to Mozart Piano Concerto, or to like Bach Suite, Bach for example, or light jazz, you name it.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
So not like any of those crumb pieces or nothing in the 20th century or anything.
Maybe I'll wait until the 8th month.
Okay, yeah. He's got to graduate.
Be a little older for that kind of music.
Yeah. Wait, Abe, do you do that with Sam?
Oh, absolutely. So we have. I'll play Bach while we're eating breakfast. My mom actually, on one of her first visits, started playing Raffi for Sam, and he just sings all these kid songs, and Sam just loves it. So I have some Raffi songs stuck in my head a little bit too often. So
yeah. Well, Wei, this has been awesome. First of all, it's so good to see you. We just wanted to kind of create this tradition by ending these interviews by asking you, how does Rite of Spring go? Yeah. Or whistle it, or
Rite of Spring go?
Yeah.
Yeah, how does Rite of Spring go? You can blame Scott for this one.
Yeah.
He came up with this question.
Like, I remember the bassoon line.
Nice. All right, we got it.
Yeah,
We got it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Awesome,
perfect,
man. Hey, Wei.
you got me.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta throw some surprises your way, you know.
Oh man.
Man, so good to see you, Wei. And yeah, we missed playing with you, but I'm glad we got to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, nice to see you, Wei.
Each other soon. And Abe, let's hang out. Sam and David have to get together.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Yeah, we can't
See
wait.
you soon, man. Give my love to the family, all right?
See you too.
Take
Love
care.
to see you.
On the next episode of Between Two Stands, we will be interviewing Associate Concertmaster and Acting Concertmaster Kim Kennedy. If you have any questions for us or for our guests, please email us at betweentwostands@gmail.com and we will try to answer them. Also, don't forget to tune into the following DSO webcasts. On Thursday, May 14th at 7 p.m., we are playing an All Vivaldi concert with Leonard Slakin and Nicholas McGeegan conducting. On Sunday, May 17th at 3 p.m., we are playing Debussy's Prelude to Afternoon of a Faun, conducted by Leonard Slakin, and Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, conducted by Robert Spano. Thank you all so much for joining us, and see you next time.